Many people today feel that certain spaces instantly make them feel calm and positive. On the other hand, there are certain places which drains our energy. Could you please throw some light on the energy related to spaces?
Negative emotion spreads faster than positive emotion. It's being constructed by these people, and we also know at such sites normally there are major arguments and fights also that happen. There are strikes also that happen. So all this negative energy gets accumulated in the walls, flooring, and ceiling. Have you ever noticed in the temple why this doesn't happen?
Common things that we are looking everywhere is stress, fear, anxiety, hypertension, and overthinking. They have become like very common names in every household. So,
Yes.
can healing practices genuinely help people cope up with these challenges as well?
Yes, they do.
What all 5 indications should be there when I need to consult a healer?
So when you observe, whether you're in an office or home, when you're outside, you are happy, you are thriving, you are successful. But the moment you either go to the office or home, you're quarreling, you are fighting uselessly for things. Too much of lethargy when you come home or when you are in office. Things are not happening for you, like you're losing your job or business में success नहीं हो रहा है, whether it is at your office or whether it is home. But I'm saying the item is just gone, vanished.
But I would like to know, like, how did this whole concept of property healing develop? Was it something personal that was involved, or is it, like, how did it happen?
If I am sleeping like 4 o'clock in the morning, I would hear a male voice whisper, "Hello."
We often pay very little attention to how our environment silently shapes us. Our emotions, our thought processes, our energy, and even our relationships. Many souls and families may have lived in house before us, and so every space carries a history, memories, emotions, energies over time. And today, especially with Gen Z becoming more aware, evolved, and proactive about concepts like energy, healing, emotional well being, conversations around spiritual balance are becoming more relevant than ever. But without making major structural changes to a house or a workspace, can we still shift the energy around us and create a more harmonious environment? Hello and welcome to AstroPrrofound Conversation. Today's episode is all about healing, energy, spirituality, and deeper connection between our inner world and the spaces around us. And to help us understand this fascinating subject, we are joined once again by someone who has been transforming lives through spiritual guidance and energy healing, Ms. Sherrin Mehta. Welcome, Sherrin Ma'am. Welcome to today's podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Sherrin Ma'am is India's pioneer in rainbow property healing. She's an expert in tarot card reading, angel healing, rune casting, past life therapy, and numerology. So, ma'am, again, today we are here to discuss something very interesting, which is a very, very, unique offering that I've heard that you have been giving for quite some time now. That is rainbow property healing. Very few people know about this concept, and today's episode is all about property healing, rainbow healing, and the energy around us, the spaces that we live in. So, ma'am, to begin with, my first question to you would be, many people today feel that certain spaces instantly make them feel calm and positive. On the other hand, there are certain places which drains our energy. Could you please throw some light on the energy related to spaces?
Well, it's like this that you must have heard of the very common phrase called everything has energy, So if I'm holding this scale, there are so many people who have touched the scale. Now,
Sure,
this
correct.
scale holds energy of all those people who either made it or, has ever touched it.
Yeah.
And now it has my energy. So I took all those energies. So there's an energy exchange happening at all given point of time. So when
Okay.
I say that, it means like, say, supposing I am shaking your hand, I am giving you my energy and I am taking your energy. That
Yeah.
is energy exchange. So whatever I touch, wherever I sit, whoever I hug, I exchange energy with that person. So when it comes to spaces, now buildings are not built by the builders, and they are not always in a good mood.
Yeah.
We all know about. But whom are they built by? Yes, the builders get it constructed, but it is actually the laborers who are doing all the work.
Correct.
Right? So when a laborer, now let's take a laborer's energy. If he is in a negative state of mind, which could be financial crisis, which could be emotional pain, it could be family issues, it could be stress regarding love affairs, or it could be any kind of anger. Maybe you had an argument just today before coming to work with somebody. That anger is there with this person.
Correct.
Now, all these negative emotions are there, but there are positive emotions also like love, peace, happiness, right?
Yeah.
So, it is also proven that negative emotion spreads faster than positive emotion. It takes time for us to overcome positive emotion. Now, these emotions, while this person is building, constructing brick by brick, cement layer by cement layer, whether it is the rod, whether it is the pillar, whether it's the wall or floor or ceiling, it's being constructed by these people. And we also know at such sites, normally there are major arguments and fights also that happen. There are strikes also that happen. So all this negative energy gets accumulated in the walls, flooring, and ceiling because it's continuously being touched, and all these emotions are spreading over there at all given point of time. Okay. So when you buy a flat or when you move into any flat, whether it is new or old, it has the emotions of all those people who made it and lived in it. So if you were happy, there are happy energies over there. If you were unhappy, there are unhappy energies. That is why most of us get pujas done before we enter into the house, right?
Right.
So that we spread positive energies. But normally we do not do it on a daily basis.
Yes.
And that only cleanses the space. So now this entire space, it can be cleansed by me doing puja. So that's only space cleansing. But something that is already negative, like the table behind me, the book set behind me, the books, this cup that I'm drinking tea from, okay, everything has already got some stored energy in it. That is not cleansed by puja.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's the hard truth. So we don't use Vastu, but Vastu plays a vital role. Vastu, Feng Shui, we can talk about it later as to how they play a vital role in it. But addressing your question right now, I would say is that all this energy that is accumulated there slowly and steadily supersedes the puja and comes back into our house.
Okay. Ma'am, while you were
Okay.
explaining this, you mentioned about unhappy, negative energies. So, what could be the possible sign of those negative energies? How do we identify them?
Okay, so let's presume a person has just recently bought a flat or moved into a flat. It could be a rented flat, it could be a resale flat or a new flat, any flat, doesn't matter. This goes for offices also. Now, if the previous family was very unhappy, if it is a resale or a rented flat, all those energies are there yet in that flat. Even if you have got pujas done, it is there in the walls, flooring, and ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the sign that you will get is young people will start falling sick very often. Okay. There will be a lot of quarrels happening every now and then. Jagda, useless. The same couple, when outside talking to people, is very lovey-dovey and very happy. And the moment you come inside your house, you start fighting and finding reasons to fight. There'll be no reason actually. Just finding reasons to fight. That is when you need to understand. Plus, there's another thing like, kaam hote hote nahi hoga. For example, if you have bought, if you're doing business, suddenly your client will say, I'm coming, and then there is cancellation. Then, or there is an order which is coming on its way, but payment ही नहीं आया है, तो आगे हो नहीं रहा है, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. Something is blocking it. People who had jobs suddenly start losing jobs and not able to retain a job. These are all signs that apart from your own destiny, because we all have our own destiny, apart from our own destiny, there's something else that's playing a vital role over here, which is beyond us. And that is where property healing comes in.
So basically, energy of a house, it actually influences our emotions, family, harmony, relationships, our way of working, decision making also. So
yes. In fact, lethargy also sinks in. You don't feel like doing anything. You're all the time lying down watching TV, or it's like you have gone into that mode कि मुझे कुछ करना ही नहीं है, because there's no energy for you to do that work.
Correct.
That's
correct. I mean, I have personally experienced this thing that sometimes, I mean, nowadays we often call it vibe nahi aa raha, ya us jagah mein wo vibe nahi tha. That
Correct.
probably, when I entered that place, some sort of vibes were very negative, or I felt literally, I didn't feel like speaking in the room. I just silently wanted to sit somewhere. So I
Correct.
think that's all
That
related
is
to the
exactly.
energy.
So yeah, you call it anything else. You call it vibes, you call it energy, you call it negativity, you call it positivity, whatever it is always. Have you ever noticed in the temple why this doesn't happen?
Yeah. No matter what kind
Because
of temple it
the
is.
walls are washed, the walls are taken care of, you know,
Yeah.
the flooring is also kept, clean. People come with a positive intention. Nobody is coming with a negative
Yeah.
intention over there, you know. It's all that plays a very vital role. And if you're touching and you're keeping on taking God's name and you're touching the wall, you're touching the floor, you're bowing, all the time. This is happening in whether it's a temple, whether it's a
Correct, correct.
church, doesn't matter whether
Yeah,
it's a fire temple, you're coming with that positive energy. You're taking his name, you're touching every item and taking his name, the divine's name. It doesn't matter which religion.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely. No matter whether it's a local, your local area temple or a, famous one. I mean, that shift in energy is felt very instantaneously.
yes, instantly you'll feel that shift in. That's why you feel the positivity and you feel like I should sit down here for 10 minutes. Unfortunately,
Correct.
for very big temples, you cannot, just get a glance and you move on. But other temples, you can sit and actually meditate in it, and it increases the vibration of the space that
Yes,
you're in.
absolutely. And I think when we are talking about this, especially in the the famous Hindu temples, if I specifically talk about the big ones, of for example, Meenakshi temple is there in the south. So they are
Yes,
all very big, giant, they have big, big corridors and all, but the, main temple of the goddess is very small. It's the
yes,
Garbhagriha is very small, but the entire
yes,
premises is such big, but again, it's so positive. And again,
yes,
when you're saying that every time they follow a strict ritual from morning till the late nights, they're doing the pujas and all the shlokas are going on. So the energy of the place is actually maintained that way.
correct, correct. Absolutely.
Oh,
Positivity only will spread positivity, but
ah,
negativity can destroy positivity very fast. इसलिए even in all the stories and all the Ramayana and whatever you read, no matter which mythological story you read, or you have heard of, it always talks that it takes the positive energy it takes time for the good to win over the evil, because evil convinces good very fast,
correct, correct, correct.
and it takes time for good to overcome evil. It is not that easy, but yeah, I'm not overcoming evil over here, but negative energies get stored in, and I told you negative energies are all the negative emotions that you feel. So today, let's say, supposing if we are sitting over here and I shake your hand and I'm in a very bad mood. Oh, I'm disgusted. So
Mm,
I'm transferring disgusted energies to you,
yeah.
and I'm taking your positive energies. And after a little while, you will have a headache, and I'll be sitting as a, oh God, I'm feeling so nice. And suddenly I don't know what happened, but I'm suddenly feeling very nice.
Yeah.
That's
Energy,
how it works.
correct.
Energy transfer ho gaya.
Transfer हो गया है. So, ma'am, you are widely known for your rainbow healing. Now, word itself is very attractive. Very, rainbow color comes in your mind. So, what is this rainbow healing? Like, I am very excited to know about it. And how
Okay.
is this rainbow healing helping people emotionally and mentally? Please throw
Okay.
some light on this.
Yeah, so if I have to talk about it, I would say actually there is no such healing process. Now I channel with the angels,
Okay.
and so the angels come. I communicate with the angels. I wouldn't say the angels communicate with me. I communicate with the angels, and because we do that, there's a to and fro happening. During COVID, before COVID I had learned pranic healing. So I'm a pranic healer as well. But they had taught me angel healing. The reason I call it angel healing is because they had taught me how to do healing. And because people don't believe, if you just say, no, मुझे बस आता है. कैसे आता है? They are not interested in listening to that. They want certificates. So I researched and went into pranic healing. I learned up to psychotherapy, and I used to practice after every, like after basic, I practice, after advanced, I practice, and then psychotherapy, I practice. So during COVID, I was doing a lot of healings, like 7 healings at a time in 7 different locations. Most of them were in ICU. So while doing this healing, I was actually getting very, very drained, and and I 24/7 keep talking to the angels. So when I was talking to them, they told me, "You're doing it the hard way. If you try doing it this way, it'll work faster, and you won't get that drain." And that's when I started the process, and how they guided me, I took. So wherein we use all the 7 colors in the rainbow.
Okay.
All the colors are used, including white and gold, which is a common purity color. So when we use all these colors for healing, and I wanted to give it a name, so the name came to my mind was rainbow, and I started calling it rainbow healing. So even if I do emotional, physical, psychological healing, I call it the rainbow healing only. I don't say pranic healing. I don't say angel healing, because it's an amalgamation of both, provided by the divine.
Okay. So it is not something that many people are practicing. It is just your own thing, your own creativity, or maybe let's say your divine plan.
So I wouldn't say
God
it is
has,
my creativity. I would say it is guidance provided,
yeah.
and I'm just using it and making use. That's what I would say.
Okay, so anybody who is now listening to it and wishes to go for a rainbow healing, you know where to contact Sherrin Ma'am on AstroPrrofound. You can definitely download the app, speak to Ma'am, and I'm sure you will definitely get the answers that you're looking for. So
Sure, sure.
thank you for sharing this, Ma'am. This is actually something really, I mean, many people are not really aware about rainbow healing concept, and I'm sure with this, when you're speaking about it, our viewers are also knowing that angels play a major role over here. And as while giving Ma'am's introduction, I had already mentioned that Ma'am is a very renowned angel energy healer. And yes, again, the rainbow healing is directly related to it. So if somebody is looking for healing practices and genuinely looking for authentic help, Sherrin Ma'am is there to help you. Right, Ma'am?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, Ma'am. Moving on. So, Ma'am, today one of the most, common things that we are looking everywhere is stress, fear, anxiety, hypertension, and overthinking. They have become like very common names in every household. So, can
Yes,
healing practices genuinely help people cope up with these challenges as well?
yes, yes, they do. So basically, stress comes from where? From fear.
Correct.
So because what if I fail? What if whatever she says no, he says no? What if I am thrown out of the job because left, right, and center people have been there's a lot of offloading going on. People are just being asked to leave. So what if I'm the one? So if I open my mouth and speak, people may think I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
As long as I'm quiet, people may think I'm intelligent. But
Mhm.
there's a very old famous saying: as long as you keep your mouth quiet, you are intelligent. But the moment you speak, we all come to know what a big idiot you are. So many people don't speak because of that. Many people, so there's a lot of fear, hidden fear. These
Yeah.
are all hidden fears. So what if something happens to my daughter or my son when they go out to work? So many reasons for fears. These reasons cause stress. Now, stress is good to some extent.
Yeah.
Like if it is a deadline and I'm stressed, oh my God, will I be able to finish my work? Then that stress is good because that makes me work. Okay.
Mhm.
But the other stress which I'm uselessly thinking, oh, my son is gone to work. What if something happens? That is useless stress. That is fear caused stress. So fear caused stress is generally not good. So we start with fear removal and we go ahead with removing the stress. We remove the cause of the pain or the suffering that the person is having. Stress is also caused, and anxiety and anxiousness is caused because of love relationships. Why isn't he replying? Why isn't she replying? Are they having an affair with somebody else? So many reasons. So people just keep building on that. And once you have reached the level wherein you've convinced yourself, okay, this is the truth. and not what the person is saying.
Yeah.
That's when healing becomes, irreplaceable. You have to get it done in order to seek clarity in whatever you want and get it out of your system, because you have filled it up over here and now it is exploding. Now, when the volcano will explode, then things will all go haywire. So, yes, healing does help deep rooted that root cause nikal ke baat mein.
Interesting. And does healing only work on emotional energy, ma'am, or it has impact on person's physical and overall balance as well?
Yes, it does have impact on your physical, and so basically, I'll put it like this: कि stress है तो BP high होगा, right? Anxiousness. So BP के लिए एक separate chakra होता है, and you ask a pranic healer, you ask a reiki healer, you ask any healer, it's all associated with chakras. Okay? So you just you delete that negativity out from there. You have balanced it, but it'll keep rising. So for that, your psychological healing, your emotional healing is also needs to be done in order for this to be balanced. So just removing and making the BP low is not enough. Root cause nikalna zaruri hai. So combo of both of that will definitely make your physical health all right. In fact, autoimmune disorder happens because of psychological problems, because of emotional pain, which you haven't shared with anybody. So therapy is also important.
Yeah, I know some people in my close relations who one of them is diagnosed with autoimmune disease. Now, wherever that chap goes, nobody is able to identify what is the root cause of that issue or the problem that the person is suffering from. So I think now
Correct.
he is visiting some healer or somebody, and there have been some good positive changes that the person is going through. So I think when doctors or the medical sciences failed at a point, I think healing emerges at that point of time.
Absolutely right. You see, where doctors fail, that's where spirituality comes into play, where that's where religion comes into play.
Yeah.
Because there are miracles that happen through them.
Correct.
We don't do anything. It's actually they have taught us these techniques. See,
Yeah.
man did not know all this. It is taught by them, and we are just practicing it. So they are helping us do it. That's how it works. And if you believe in that, if you believe that when you take his name, pain kam ho jata hai, then do it.
Correct. Ma'am, next question is that, what would you say makes your healing methods and approach unique compared to other healing modalities people usually hear about? If you can throw some light on how you heal, that would make our audience understand you and connect with you in a better way.
See, I don't like to compare, and I do not definitely like to demean any other process and say my process is the best and mere paas aao, main heal kar dungi. No, I don't say that, and neither I would like, because I have learned from the source. So I do believe every process is good. It all depends on the individual how they're doing it. So if you perform it well with 100% dedication and your intention is 100% for the benefit of that person, then definitely nothing is going to happen to you and nothing is going to happen to that person. That person will definitely survive and get out of that negative zone that they are in, whether it is an ailment or whether it is an emotional pain or psychological suffering.
Correct, correct. Again, coming back to the core topic, ma'am, when you work on a space, how do you actually identify and cleanse negative energy from a property? Like, is there a set of procedures that you follow? And is it different also for, homes and office spaces?
Okay. So yes, office place spaces is more different and difficult in comparison to home, because home में कितने लोग रहते हैं? 3, 4, 5, 6.
Correct.
Depends on how large the house is, and maybe 2, 3 servants.
Hmm.
Okay, maybe 0 servant or maybe 2, 3 servants. But in an office, people like anything from 2 to 1,000 big hota hai, right? So more than that also, and in thousands hote hain. So it all depends on how large the space is and how many people keep coming in and out. Now, for example, a shop can be only 500 square feet or 1,000 square feet area.
Correct.
Okay? But there are people walking in and out 24/7.
Yes.
Okay? There are staff working there. Now, it is not necessary that the staff is working over there is all happy. No, they have their own personal life. So they also are unhappy. You are also unhappy. We are all human beings. I also
Correct.
get angry and I also have my own emotions, set of emotions. But I have learned how to deal with it. And many people don't know how to deal with their own emotions because it is not taught in schools
Hmm.
and colleges. So
Oh,
yes, so there is a mechanism. It is how I measure. Now I generally can measure with my hand. I
okay.
don't need any equipment. So I tried out many equipments and I froze on this equipment. So this is the
Ma'am, can you show it? Yeah.
okay. So can you see this? So this is an equipment which was used in olden days to find water.
Okay.
Okay. Very in ancient times, this was used to find water. Now we use it for seeing as to whether how positive the space is or how negative the space
What
is.
is this called, ma'am?
This is the dowser.
Okay.
Okay, this is
So
the
you
dowser.
you do the dowsing as well. You that is
Yeah, so
the
I
term
I
for it,
checked
right?
I checked with this dowser. I had checked a lot of dowsers and this one and this one. So this also you must have seen a lot. So like I'll show
Yeah.
you.
Actually, I've seen this one. Yeah.
Okay, okay, I'll get it here.
It's like a
So like
pendulum kind of thing, right?
I'm going to purposely turn it around. So if it goes like this in the clockwise direction, it is positive energy. However, if it goes like this, so I'm making it go right now, it is not
Yeah.
automatically.
Yeah.
Okay, it's negative energy. So, and I don't know if anybody has told you, but when you use this equipment, you can actually communicate with it. So this
Okay.
one I use very rarely, less. I use this more. The reason I use this equipment more is because it's more accurate. This, if my intention says 50% ho gaya hoga, so it will show me 50%.
Acha.
So
Okay.
I have to be crystal clear, no sides taken, etc. I have to keep this purely intention of that. So sometimes, human mind can change. So
Yeah.
hence
Yeah.
I don't use this equipment much unless my that equipment has failed, like broken or something. Only then I use it. Then I try to keep my mind as neutral as possible.
For people who may currently be struggling emotionally, mentally, and energetically, what message or guidance would you like to share with them today?
See, actually, I would like to say a lot of more things, but since you asked emotionally, so basically, keep yourself happy. Self love is very important. Pay attention to that inner voice. There is a voice telling the voice is saying, कि मुझे आज एक book पढ़ना है,
Hmm.
so read the book. If your voice is saying, today I would like to go out and meet this friend of mine,
Hmm.
go and meet that friend. There is something that this soul, this inner voice is telling you which you need to do. Just go and do it. Because tomorrow, if something happens or whatever, whatever reason, like they may be going to some other city and you missed out on meeting them because they were trying to connect with you and you were not reachable, whatever reason it could be, you will miss out. And then you will start feeling guilty. And then you will start feeling unhappy. And then you will start blaming yourself. So don't get into those rigmaroles. Just go straight and do what this inner heart tells you. This little voice inside you, your intuition, you call it your higher self, you call it your soul, you want to call it anything under the sun. Just go and follow it. If the inner voice is saying don't be friends with a particular person, then don't be friends. You're being warned. If
Hmm.
the inner voice is so, we fall in love most of the time, and this is what we do. We don't listen to that inner voice. That inner voice told us no, 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 and we went yes, yes. We convinced ourselves no, no, this person is right, and then after that we cried. So this is what happens, and then you need a healer to heal you. Okay, so to avoid using people like us, you should actually take care of yourself.
Correct.
And as far as your home is concerned, keep it as positive as possible. You can do mopping with salt water on a
Yes.
regular basis. I've also come out with something called a protection salt, which you can use. You can connect with Profound, and Profound can give you all those healing salts and uh,
Sure. Sure.
all the protection salt, etc. However, Having said that, I would also like to say is that people, in general, for property healing, think जादू हो जाएगा. आज मैंने किया, कल सब ठीक हो जाएगा. It takes time for energy to set in.
Okay.
So any energy, you do vastu, you do feng shui, you do property healing, or any kind of energy healing with the yantras or anything for that matter. Everything is good. But all you need to do is understand whatever you have done, you have to give it 6 months to 8 months time to actually show you results. And it does. It does. And if you do a
You
combo
need
of
to
all
be
this,
patient.
yeah, you have to be patient. See, the reason I say 6 to 8 months is because for some people it takes time. Most of the people, it starts showing result instantly. And the best way to find out whether it is showing result is instantly. A negative person from your life is gone. A negative opportunity is gone. A negative employee is gone. Negative client is gone. That's your biggest sign that it has worked.
Okay.
That's how property healing works.
So, Sherrin Ma'am, this topic is very, very interesting. But I would like to know, like, how did this whole concept of property healing developed? Was it something personal that was involved, or is it, like, how did it happen?
So yes, it happened when my daughter had just turned 16 and they had a birthday party and she was gifted this big, huge panda. And, this panda could not sit. It had no, steady rod or something put in it. So it would sit on a chair like a human being. But only if it is sitting on a chair where it would fall down. Now, coming to the main crux of it, that it started happening like this, that if I am sleeping like 4 o'clock in the morning, I would hear a male voice whisper, hello. And, my son was not here. So there was no male in the house, only my daughter and me. So having said that, having a male voice wake me up every day in the morning at around 4 or 3, it was very scary. Then things started happening like, as I will call it tapli in Hindi. My daughter was being tapped at the same time. Then at the same time, in the bathroom, wherein there is a big commode in the center, from one end to the opposite diagonal side, there is a powder box thrown. So things like that started happening, and even things like, I am sleeping next to me. There's a glass table, and this sort of a sound, with the pen making to wake me up, talk to me types. So this started happening too much. Too much, like none of us could sleep at night. My daughter and I were not able to sleep. This happened for months together. I called a Pandit, we got a puja done. I called our Parsi Pandits and they came and nothing happened. Same every day. I called the church father, we blessed the house. Still no difference. Even the father said, hey, I also sense there is something in this house. But what it is, we couldn't identify and we could not get it out of our house. It started becoming very difficult. When suddenly one day my daughter comes home from college, like 1 or 2 years passed with we were living with these kind of, my son also came back from Bangalore, and I think so a year passed, if I'm exactly not 1 or 2 years, 1 year passed. Now my daughter was going to college, and when she came back from college, so she every day last I would leave house, and every day first my daughter would come home. So when my daughter came home, the panda was lying in the sofa in the living, and the passage is in the other direction. So when she came home, she saw the panda sitting in the passage, and she got scared. She said, let me take a video because nobody's going to believe me. She took a video, she put the light on, and within 1 second, this panda fell off. And there is a mirror behind the panda sitting, so there is nothing there as support system for this panda to sit straight like this. Panda can't sit straight; it just falls off. So we thought then, the whole thing is because of this panda. So we went and told my son to dispose it, burn it up. He took it and went, and there was his friend who said, "ये बहुत अच्छा है ये मुझे दे." He said it is not a good thing, so he didn't believe him. He said, I don't believe in all this nonsense. And he took it in. And in the meantime, uh, his maid next day came, who was a young lady who had a couple of children. And she said, I'll take it for my kids and go. It's okay. And very next day in her family, someone passed away. So they all started blaming it on the panda, and we also started, okay, it could be possible that the panda is causing such a ruckus. So then after that, uh, what happened is my friend and I, we started this because it still didn't go, that entity was still troubling us. So what we did is I was discussing it with one of my healer friends, and we tried everything under the sun. It was still not working. We decided that if Lakshman could create a Lakshman Rekha for Sita and she would be there, and Ravan couldn't enter, that means negativity cannot enter. So let's also create an intentional line.
Wow.
So, but this line we created in a very different manner, and we did not do it the way Lakshman did it. So we created this Lakshman Rekha, and it went. For some time, I had a relief, but then again it used to come back. So then the entire process of healing, and cleansing, and protecting, and shielding, and crystals, they all came into existence, and that's when property healing was born. And obviously, Lakshman Rekha is a very vital part of the property healing, which we teach one individual in every family. You need to keep making it, so that doesn't enter again. But we also realize that these things can stay in walls, so they create negativity over there for you. So we have to remove it out from them. We need to cleanse the walls with particular energy. Only then it will go. That is what we
That
do.
brings me to my next question also, ma'am. You mentioned about the process. So how many steps are there involved in this whole process? Like, once once you identify that there is some sort of, wrong entity which is there, and it's, hampering everybody's well-being, the ones who are living in the family. So first you eliminate it with the, like, what all steps are involved in this? If you can please tell our audience.
So there are many steps. There's first the cleansing step, space cleansing step. Then there is cleansing step for walls, flooring, and ceiling. Then there is a blessing step. Sound healing is also used in it, and various other sage energy, camphor energy. Lots of things are done in it. So you have to experience it to understand it, how it works for you. So yes, there is a cleansing process, and then there is a healing process, and then there is a shielding process, and there's a protection process, and then there's a Lakshman Rekha process, and in between all this, sound healing also comes and plays a vital role.
Okay. And what is the duration of the whole process?
It depends on how large the property is. So something like, say, a 1,000 square feet area will take around 3.5 hours max. And if it is something beyond that, then it takes equivalently good amount of time. So I have some friends with me who help me out, and we go together to do the healing for these.
So it's just a 1 day process, but depending on the size of the area, whether it's a home or a office space, the duration and the hours increases, right?
Yes, it can also increase with during this. So, like say, supposing 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 square feet, maybe 2 lakh square feet area, 4,000 square feet area. Like we do tie up with builders. So
Yeah.
their whole society, they want, before sales to give it as a good gesture to their clients who have bought it, or they want to give them positive homes because they are promising them positive homes.
Yeah.
So this is, apart from Vastu, this is one thing that they can get done for themselves. And I know AstroPrrofound will get a lot of such clients to get things done. So yeah, you can connect with us over here. Apart from this, yes, it does take good amount of energy and time.
Absolutely.
Anything beyond 3 hours is what we are looking at, even if it is a shop. In fact, shops, factories take more longer time because there are many people's energy over there, and that energy needs to be.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your experience. But I would also like to know if there is any such other consultation wherein, you encountered any entity and you helped the people out there. If you can share something with us.
Yes, yes. I remember one incident wherein this lady had got a tarot reading done first, and when she got her confidence, she called me to her house for property healing. So first we do an inspection. So when I did the inspection, I identified that there were two different kinds of entities over there. There was a little kid as an entity over there, and there was another very negative energy over there. And there was a source coming from somewhere just next to the house. There was a big old well. So the source was over there. So I told her, ki, you need to do something. You don't need to open these windows over here because uh, could be they are coming in from there. One. Two, till the time we do a property healing. And I also had identified, I did not know how many children she had. So when I went to her house, I said, ki, there is one child who is always troubled in the night, and she gets up screaming, and if she sleeps somewhere on this side of the house, it should be changed. She should move to the other side of the house. So she said, yes, I do have a daughter, and she's very restless in the room. And this is her bedroom over here with her brother. She sleeps here, but every night she gets up screaming and yelling, and then I take her to my room, which is this side. So this is the whole daily story. So I said, please avoid the child from sleeping here. And then we did the checking of the property, and wherein we clearly, see when this dowser goes wild, it just goes round and round and round, and it came up. Sorry, it broke. So when it goes round and round like that, there's an indication that there is an entity around somewhere over here. When an entity enters, they don't let us do our work because they're inquisitive. They want to know what's happening. Why are you here? And what are you doing with them? So when their energy intervenes with the checking process, the entire process goes haywire. So anyway, so coming back, we identified and then we did the healing, and it was also identified, like she had mentioned, her husband and she were having a very bad relationship, so they had got separated into different rooms, and it was very bad. Like their relationship had gone to the dogs, the right word. But we did the healing and things started getting better. And then I also suggested कि खाली अभी जो दरार आ गया है relationship में वो निकालना जरूरी. So we get a relationship healing done. It will be very good. So we did a relationship healing for both a husband and wife, and things worked out for them. And touch wood, they are very happy. And daughter का अलग healing किया for the nightmares she started getting. वो clean हुआ, but that room is no longer there. Unfortunately, they have changed the house now. I just recently did their house ka property healing, which is a huge whooping duplex flat. Awesome. 6 bedrooms, etc. Huge. Huge means huge. Like, which all of us want. So that's kind of a house they've got now. So there has been a lot of prosperity and success for them too, if I have to add that. So that was one very good experience. There are many such experiences, but this is one that immediately came to my mind when you asked.
Very interesting. Next, ma'am, how do we identify, what are the things? For example, if I have to contact a property healer, if I want to speak to you, what all things should be in my observation list? That these things are getting, these things are wrong in my home or in my office space. Now it's the right time to contact a healer, or maybe contact Sherrin Mehta ma'am over AstroPrrofound and, take the consultation. Let's, put it in 5 points only. What all 5 indications should be there when I need to consult a healer?
So when you observe, whether you're in an office or home, when you're outside, you are happy, you are thriving, you are successful, you are enjoying life, you're saying what you want to say, whether you're with your partner or not with your partner. But the moment you either go to the office or home, you're quarreling, you are fighting uselessly for things that actually you would normally ignore, even if you're when you're outside. So that means there's something wrong with the space, there's nothing wrong with your relationship. Okay. 2, too much of lethargy when you come home or when you are in office. When you're out, you've got all the energy in the world to do anything under the sun, But the moment you come to the office, you just can't work. Or when you are at home, you just can't do anything. You're just lazing around over there. So yes, that could not be you. That could be your house. Third thing is like things are not happening for you, like you're losing your job or business may success nahi ho raha hai, whether it is at your office or whether it is home. Things are just not working for you. That's one other reason. It's like, have you ever noticed, you know, when you are at home, uh, say supposing my dowser, I was just using it and I keep it here on the table and I know I was using it. So I kept it here on the table and I remember I kept it on the table and I go to make a cup of tea in the kitchen. And then I come back and I see that the dowser is missing. Now I cannot do my work. Where the hell did the dowser go? So I search under the table, probably it fell down. I search on the chair, probably I kept it on the chair. Or maybe I took it with me in the kitchen. I go and search in the kitchen. And I don't find it anywhere. Then maybe, now there could be two different kinds of scenarios. Maybe after a couple of days, I find the dowser there in the same place. Same place where I had left. Or maybe it was in the bedroom where I didn't go in the bedroom. So how did it go to the bedroom? You know? So that could happen. Or maybe it is broken lying one part somewhere and one part the other place. If things like this are happening to you, have you ever experienced something like this?
I
Like
have.
you may have kept a pen or maybe a
Pen
book.
is most often, especially mobile phones. I mean, I remember mobile phones are the most misplaced things in our home. Like I
See,
remember I have
misplacing
kept
it is
it.
a separate thing. Misplacing is it a separate thing. But I'm saying the item is just gone, vanished. It's not there. And it comes back in the same place after 2 days or
But
3
this
days.
happens.
Or maybe in another place.
Yeah, this happens. I mean, I remember I have kept it probably on the kitchen counter or somewhere, and then I'm finding it in the balcony maybe, or in my bedroom. So this has happened with me, and I'm
Yeah.
sure
So
many people face this.
oh yes, a lot of us face this and we just ignore it because we think probably we forgot. No, my dear, you haven't forgotten. So if you're experiencing anything of this sort,
Yeah.
it means there is an entity in your house.
Okay. Now, when you hear this, that there is, immediately I felt something. I don't know what, but I felt
No, I'm
some
not
sort of,
scaring you. I'm
yeah,
not at all scaring you. So entity can mean entities are not bad. Entities are spirits, they are
yeah.
souls who have either missed the light or cannot cross over, or maybe they are your spirit guides, your ancestor, or someone who's trying to help you or connect with you. So when this happens more often, it means whatever spirit or entity is there in your house wants to communicate with you. There are ways of them in your sleep, and if not, we can just tell them to leave your house if you are afraid, if they are passing by. There are a lot of passing by souls that make your home their home and they live there with you happily ever after. Yes, they do that. And they're nothing to be afraid of. But it is just that it's uncomfortable if they start troubling you. If you have a naughty spirit, the one like I had, one was very mischievous, used to trouble me and trouble my children. So if you have a naughty one, then you need to get rid of them immediately. But if it is your ancestor who is helping you out, then we should allow them to stay.
Okay, understood. And ma'am, somebody who has done all the, who has taken the consultation, the healing of the rainbow property healing has been done at that space. Now, what another other things can that person take in consideration? For example, I'm sure healing every day is not possible. So, any suggestions or maybe remedies or any suggestions from your end, maybe crystals or any stones that a person can keep at his place?
Yeah, so when we do property healing, good you brought it up. I forgot to tell you this. When we do property healing, you see this black tourmaline I have in my hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a black tourmaline that we leave at your place in strategic corners. Then we have
Could you show?
clear
Yeah.
quartz. Then we have selenite. Okay, and we have rose quartz. and we have amethyst.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So these sort of crystals we will leave at different places. It also depends where it is required the most. You see, because we do check every wall, flooring, and ceiling. What is the area? We do share the details with you. Okay, this is what it is. And that is why this is going to be the cost for it.
Okay.
And we need to, many a time we don't put amethyst if there is no office in your home, but in your office we would recommend to put. And if you want to buy a larger one, then it is up to you. We will tell you how to buy it and how to get it and what are the good qualities, and don't buy a fake, etc., because there are lots of fake in the market. Now we do help you out with all this, and we do strategically place these crystals in different rooms, in different places, whether it is the kitchen, whether it is the living room, whether it is your bedroom. Different crystals have different spaces.
Yeah.
So we do tell you how to energize it and cleanse it on a regular basis. And the whole process involves salt, it involves various kinds of bowls, it involves, like I said, sound healing, cleansing, energizing, shielding, protecting, lots of things.
All right. Finally, we have come to the end of today's podcast, ma'am. And once again, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, experiences, and beautiful perspective with us today. Your insights into healing, energy, and spiritual balance have truly made this conversation both meaningful and eye opening. And to everyone watching and listening, maybe this episode was reminder to pause, breathe, and become more aware about the energy around you and within you. Because sometimes small shifts in energy can create the biggest transformations in life. Am I correct, ma'am?
Yes, absolutely right. Small shift, a small contribution from your side will definitely make your life happier and better.
Correct. So if you enjoyed today's conversation, do share it with somebody who might need this message today. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to AstroPrrofound Conversations for more such soulful and insightful discussion. I'm Tanishq Raizada, and until we meet next time, stay positive, stay mindful, keep healing. Thank you for joining us on AstroPrrofound Conversations. See you soon.